Your mother told you not to cry about it. Not because it isn't worth crying about. Because she learned not to cry. From her mother, who learned not to cry. From her mother. And somewhere back in that line is a woman who cried once and decided that the crying had to stop because it was taking up space that survival needed. You are 9 years old. Your hands are red from the cold and from the dead ox beside you and from the work that your family has done for as long as your family has had a memory of itself. A farmer walks the road above you. He does not look down. You do not cry. Your hands keep moving. You are Burakumin. You are ETA. You are the daughter of the woman who decided the crying had to stop. And you are about to show me exactly what that decision looks like from the inside. Welcome to your life as Japan's lowest caste. The year is 1720. Japan is in the middle of the Edo period, 2.5 centuries of Tokugawa shogunate rule, enforced isolation from the outside world, and a rigid social hierarchy called the Mabunsei that divides Japanese society into 4 recognized castes: samurai, farmers, artisans, merchants. Below all of them, outside the system entirely, are you. The ETA, a word that means, depending on who is explaining it, filth abundance or great pollution, are not a caste within the Mabunsei. You are the category that the Mabunsei requires in order to function and simultaneously refuses to include. Your existence justifies the purity of everyone above you. Your defilement is not incidental to the system. It is the system's foundation. Your family's work is the work no one else will do. You live in a baraku, a segregated hamlet outside the village boundary. Your house is built beyond the point where the road officially ends. Your community's presence on maps sometimes omitted entirely, as though you occupy space that doesn't legally exist. Your father processes animal carcasses, the skinning, the rendering, the tanning of hides that will become the samurai's leather armor and the farmer's sandals and the court musician's drumhead. Your mother makes sandals from the leather your father treats. Your older brother assists at executions when the village headman requires it, because executions and the handling of the condemned are also ETA work, also too polluted for the living world to perform and requires someone already polluted to make clean. You are 9 and you know all of this already. You learned it the way you learned everything, by watching the world arrange itself around you in a specific shape and understanding what the shape means. The Buddhist and Shinto concept of kegar, ritual impurity, is the theological mechanism by which your life is organized. Death, blood, and the flesh of animals carry kegar, which spreads through contact. Your family's work, the work the society depends upon, is saturated with kegar, which means your family is saturated with kegar, which means you are saturated with kegar from birth, before you have touched anything, before you have done anything, before you have had a single morning of your life that did not begin already contaminated by the category you were born into. The contamination is not metaphorical. Village people track it the way they track weather. Some will not walk the road past your baraku. Some will not accept objects from your hand. Some will not allow your shadow to fall on their food. You are 12 when you first go to the village market. Your mother sends you for salt. You carry the exact coins. You know the exact amount. You have been told by your mother which stall and which approach and which phrases to use. At the salt merchant's stall, you place the coins on the counter, not in the merchant's hand, because your hand must not touch his hand, and you state your purchase and you wait. The merchant serves you. He does not speak to you beyond the transaction's requirements. He uses a separate set of weights and measures for ETA customers, kept to one side, never mixed with the others. After you leave, you know without turning around that the coins you left on the counter are being handled with a cloth before they go into his box. You walk home carrying the salt. You do not cry. Your mother told you not to cry, and the reason she told you is that she learned not to cry at some point before her own memory of learning it, which means the not crying has been in your family long enough to become simply the way the face is held. Your father is extraordinarily skilled. This is the paradox at the center of your life. The work the ETA do requires mastery, requires knowledge passed through generations, requires the particular expertise that comes from being the people who have done this work for centuries because no one else was permitted to. Your father's leather is the best leather in the province. The samurai who wears it knows this. The samurai's sandal maker knows this. The money flows from the samurai's household to your father's hands in a transaction that everyone involved understands and no one involved acknowledges. Your father cannot use that money to buy land. He cannot change his occupation. He cannot marry outside the Buraku. He cannot move his family to a different village. The expertise is his. The mobility is not. By 14, you are working the full process alongside your father. You have learned to read the hide, which sections are strong, which are thin, how the tanning changes with season and temperature, where the craft lives in the knowledge that cannot be written down because the people who hold it are the people the writing system was not built to include. You have also learned the secondary economy of the Buraku, the things the ETA are permitted to do that others are not, the monopolies of defilement that become, in their way, power. Your community controls the leather trade in 3 villages. Your uncle manages the distribution of certain goods that pass through channels the samurai class cannot officially acknowledge. The system that excludes you has also, by excluding you, handed you certain territories of commerce that it cannot enter itself. You understand this with the particular cold clarity of someone who has had to understand everything about the system that contains them in order to survive the decade. At 17, you marry within the Buraku. There is no other option, because marriage outside the Buraku is both socially impossible and legally restricted. Your husband is a tanner's son named Kenji, his hands already permanently stained from the work, his face carrying the particular settled quality of someone who has made peace with the shape of his life without being required to like it. He is kind in the way that people are kind when they understand that unkindness within the Buraku is a luxury no one can afford. When the world outside is uniformly unkind to all of you, the inside must hold. You have 2 children by 20. You name the first for your mother. You name the second for the grandmother you never met, whose name your mother kept in a careful place inside herself for the years until she could give it to someone. There are samurai in the province who treat ETA with the kind of casual cruelty that the system implicitly permits. The right to strike an ETA who fails to show the correct deference. The expectation of prostration on the road. You learn the routes between encounters. You learn which samurai patrol which roads on which days. You learn the physics of invisibility, how to be present and absent simultaneously, how to conduct the business of your life in the spaces between their noticing. This is the skill your mother taught you without calling it a skill, the skill her mother taught her, the skill that has been passed through your female line as a form of navigation older than anyone's memory of learning it. Your son is 7 when you begin teaching him. Not the routes. Not yet. He is too young for the routes. You teach him first what you were taught first. The particular way of holding the face that costs you nothing and gives away nothing and keeps the interior of you intact regardless of what the exterior of you is required to perform. You teach him the pride that lives underneath the posture, the one that the posture is protecting, the one that has been kept alive in Baraka households for 300 years of Tokugawa rule by being handed from parent to child in the specific, careful way that things are handed when the official world has decided they should not exist. The Tokugawa shogunate will fall in 1868. The Meiji government will formally abolish the Mabunsei and the ETA designation in 1871, the Emancipation Edict declaring that ETA and Hainan are now ordinary commoners. What the edict will not abolish is the knowledge of who the families are, which villages are Buraku villages, which surnames belong to which history. Discrimination against Burakumin will continue into the 20th century and beyond, quieter than the official system, but no less architectural in its effects, no less careful in the way it arranges the world around the people it has decided to exclude. In the winter of 1729, a farmer on the road above the field does not look down at you. You have been here your whole life. You are holding a hide that will become the armor the farmer's lord wears into the conflict the farmer's lord chooses. Your hands made this possible. The not looking is very old. You are older. Click the card to watch your life as an untouchable in the Indian caste system next.